Hey, it's
Yeah.
Jordan. Delighted to be joined by John. Live in the Conyers, Georgia area, and you live about 8 miles from where this inferno seems to be still spreading far and wide at this chemical plant. For those living under a rock, this plume from this chemical plant fire has been spreading now. It seems for 3 days. It is a plant that makes pool and spa treatments, and chlorine gas is spreading throughout the air as far as, from what I can tell, 70 to 80 miles away. It could be further, but I've seen reports of haze, and just toxic contamination filling up the air very, very far away. But you live very close to that plant. Can you describe the last few days there, your neighborhood, how bad it smells outside, if you and others have had any symptoms, what's it been like?
A little bit hard. We have, I work for Pactive Evergreen, is a plant that makes like disposable plates and cups. And we have a plant right there about probably a quarter miles away from the plant. They
Wow.
closed immediately. And Sunday, like I said, my wife was feeling bad. We didn't know anything about it. She was feeling bad. She had a stomach ache and all that. And my wife doesn't get sick very often. So I was asleep because I work at night. So on the morning it started after I went to sleep. That's by looking on TV. Then when I woke up, she was telling me she was not feeling good, this and that, and I told her go rest. And then I waited for a second, got ready to go to work again. Then I see all these clouds and stuff, and then I hear all this, the Biolab got burned. No, this happened after I woke up while she was there. But we didn't
Yeah.
think that was her stomach causing that. So I see the cloud when I was going, and it was bad. And I start smelling everything as soon as I got out of the house. So when I got close to the second plant that I work for, actually is a warehouse, and we have two manufacturing and one warehouse. So I work at the warehouse. So when I went to the warehouse where I work at, they told me the second manufacturer got closed because the smells start coming, which is, we are in the city of Cummington where I work at, and Conyers. There are borders.
Hmm.
They're about 20 miles. I work about 20 miles away from where I live. So as the time progresses and the days goes by, the smell just spreads all over. So when I went to the warehouse, I asked them, it's like, do you guys smell it? It's all over the Quick Trip, which is close to us. And they said, no. And then not 30 minutes away, 30 minutes after, everybody started smelling it at the warehouse.
Wow.
So, and it's still going on.
And
It's all over.
that warehouse is how far from the plant that has the fire?
We we are about 20 miles from the biolab where I work at,
Wow.
but we have a plant that closed immediately after the fire,
Right.
about a quarter miles away from it. We have two plants, so the one plant is close to it about a quarter mile away.
And what are your thoughts on, just thinking common sense? Uh, Yesterday, this public alert was sent out from the Georgia Emergency Management Agency. So, like Georgia's version of FEMA, basically saying that they're monitoring for chlorine and related compounds. And, quote, chemical levels are unlikely to cause harm to most people. That sounds pretty damn premature to be stating that.
You know what, Jordan? I listen to you guys all the time. So, mostly about the East Palestine. you guys were talking about it, and you had an expert talk about it and all this. I was listening to it just before all this happened. And I told my neighbors, do not believe it. I screenshot this and send it to them. And I said, like, it's good for the warning, but do not believe it. Make sure you listen. In fact, I told them to listen to your show because you got experts coming to you and talking about it and in details what harm it can cause. Yeah. So it's better to do that before you just jump the conclusion. And that's what they did. They jumped the conclusion, just send that. It was too quick, right. Too fast.
It's like they want to get back to business and kind of move on before it's safe to move on. Meanwhile, people are still smelling this 40, 50, 60 miles away. And this is gas. I mean, it's gas in the air. So you could have short-term effects or long-term effects, depending on how much of it is in the air.
We don't know. And I'm still trying to, I didn't go to the hospital or nothing. This started actually yesterday. How I'm talking right now. That's not how normally I talk.
Yeah, your voice is kind of your voice is kind of raspy.
Yeah. I mean, I've been smelling this stuff, man. My eyes was burning as soon as I went to Quick Trip close to my job to pick up something to snack on. And it just like that, my eyes and the smell, and everybody was talking about it at the Quick Trip. Mm-hmm. That was the conversation of the day yesterday.
And are people still today smelling it, feeling it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the thing is, it's not going away. It's just moving to different places of the cities. That's all it's doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you're getting enough communication from your local government, from the state government, the governor? Do you think they're doing enough?
Well, we haven't heard anything about what from experts, what causes, what it can do. The only thing is what you just saw. They keep sending that every day, every minute. They just keep sending it. And now they said they taking down the restriction of shutting down or staying at home or whatever. That's what they're doing. So we don't know, man.
Unbelievable.
We don't know. And yeah, it is unbelievable.
And can you kind of describe in your neighborhood, are most of the people you know trying to stay indoors if they can, keep their kids indoors, keep their animals indoors? Obviously, people got to go to work too. So what are people pretty much doing? Most people trying to stay indoors?
Most people are, if they can, but those who cannot, who has no money, who lives day by day, I mean, they have to, if their job is away from that and is open. But I forgot to tell you, the second plant that is about 20 miles away, they shut it down as soon as I got to the warehouse.
Wow.
They told me that they shut down that plant too, because they start smelling it, so they had to shut it down. And it's something got to do with food and that what we make, so they just have to shut it down.
And what are your thoughts? You know, you got the presidential election going on right now. Everyone's, talking about democracy and democracy's at stake. Meanwhile, you got railroads blowing up their cars over towns. You got chemical plants exploding on fire and spreading plumes, hurricanes destroying whole cities. Kind of seems like we got much bigger issues right now. And it's only Tuesday. I mean, there seems to be another chemical fire or explosion every week. There seems to be another disaster every month. And it kind of just, you see it in the news and then it's out of the news. Seems like things are kind of out of control in America.
It is very uncontrolled. And as the thing is, they got their eye off of us. it seems like there is a lot going on outside of America, that America is just took their eye off their us, and they just put their eye out there. I don't understand it. I cannot understand this. I mean, people are here hurting day by day, and it just nobody's doing anything. The regular citizens are trying to do their due diligence, but not the government, not the corporates, not it just. I don't know, man. This greed is harming people.
And also, I don't know all the details, but it seems like this plant that is on fire, releasing chlorine gas, has had 3 different fires in the last 7 years. Why was this plant still operating if they have repeated issues?
That's a good question, which I can't answer. But one thing I can tell you, what people are talking right now is no more. That plant will not be there again. And that's what we are fighting for right now. No more. That's a third time. There is, well, in the beginning, Conyers used to be more like a suburb. Not a lot of people, more of like country people, suburb with, horses, cows, this and that. But now it's getting more and more people here because they're pushing all the, what do I call them? The regular people or the regular hardworking citizens out of the city. So they're all coming here. So it's becoming more populated. So now we're saying, like, no more. We can't have that plant here.
And also, what about all the other chemical plants? You got mining, fracking. Well, who the hell knows which plants and which areas are up to code? Which ones are actually following regulations? We got a lot of dangerous chemicals and contaminants everywhere. And they say it was a sprinkler malfunction, but who knows what really happened. So it seems like something needs to be done about safety throughout America, because chemicals are being transported on trains, on trucks, but also manufactured in these plants, where we keep seeing fires and explosions and all these things.
Absolutely, man. The first thing it should be is, what did he do the first time it burned? What did he do to fix it and to make it better? And after the second, there should have been ticketed or whatever. They should have paid so much money for their not doing their safety, whatever protocols. And now is the third time. They should really shut it down. And also, if it is harmful chemicals, America is a big land. They have a land that nobody lives in. All these harmful chemicals, why can't they just have them there? To where if something like this happened, you are in a safe zone.
Right.
What we say means nothing. And that's what really gets us, man, is common sense. Sometimes it doesn't need no degrees. It just needs head. And these people, their head is into the money in their pocket.
Right.
Billions and billions that the EPA gets, and they're not using it.